You remember the timer this time?
Yeah.
Dope. Dope. All right. So, here we are.
Yeah, no, you always go that you start with it like it's Foster and Feinstein. But
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yo, 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 yo. What's up, baby? It's your boy, Foster, and
Feinstein.
we're back with another week of greatness. Luckily this week in our hometown where we live, the beautiful island of Kauai, there's blue skies, there's nice sun rays out, because we've had a lot of rain recently and it's been a kind of a bummer, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, but one of the things I'm careful of, having spent over 40 years in New York City, is not to bitch about the weather here.
That's facts.
Because
That's facts. That's facts.
this is as close to perfect as you can get.
No, that is honesty. That's a true statement.
But probably of all of the months, March would suck.
March was fucking suck. And I'm from Chicago too, so yeah, we had some. They still were getting snow in March, so
It's the lake effect, right?
yeah, the cold air lake effect. The cold front comes in, and then sometimes they get like some polar vortex bullshit from Canada sweeps in with this cold back. Whatever. Let's not worry about that. That's not what's going on with here. Here is beautiful. It's about 76 degrees, sunny, slightly cloudy, and yeah, I know you're probably jealous, but hey, stay away. It's our island. We love it here. It's home.
Yes, and which will probably be the case most every Sunday when the weather's nice. I will have taken my motorcycle ride, my ritual ride with the Sons of Kauai, which I've been doing for around 17 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So I've just gotten in. I'm off the road.
You wouldn't be able to tell that he just got off a motorcycle. His hair's all nice and perfect. His hair is his moneymaker, is what he calls it.
Yeah. Oh, my hair. All right. Quick hair story. I was wearing it long, and working at the brewery, and I would get compliments all the time.
Okay.
Which is you can't complain. I mean, I'd rather somebody say, "Wow, great," rather than, "Man, you look like shit."
That's fucked up.
So, or here, it would go like this. It would go like this. It would be like this. They look around and they say, "Did anybody ever tell you you have incredible hair?"
Yeah, you got showbiz hair.
Now, my internal reaction is yes, every fucking day, but you can't. But oh, thank you. Anyhow, what? So I ended up like buzz cutting my hair, and the reason why I did when I was working here, was it the straw that humped the camel's back, the camel that humped the straw,
the straw that broke the camel's back. Yeah.
The guy came over to me and said, "Listen, man, could you do me a favor? Could we take a picture together? Because I want to send it to my friend, back home, and I want to tell him that I was having a beer with Jimmy Page."
With short hair, they thought you were Jimmy Page.
No, I had the long
hair.
hair.
The long hair.
The long hair.
So that made you cut it
and
off.
I'm done. So, but then I grew it back. And, oh God, my
Okay.
hair. Okay, enough about me. Thank you for the compliment.
No problem. I wish I had it. My hair, I just buzz shave mine all the way off every time. Okay. It's easier. Hair is overrated in my eyes. I don't want to be conditioning and straightening it.
This is from God, baby.
Oh wow. Hey, anybody needs some hair tips, comment and ask Mr. Feinstein here. Where does he get it? It's not maybe it's Maybelline. Wait, no, that's some fucking makeup shit. But it's genetics for sure. It's genetics.
Avon.
That's what it
Ding dong.
is. All right. Well, welcome back, man. We here.
Yeah, okay.
We live, baby.
I'm really looking forward to. This is really not a question, but you made a comment, and it's like, oh, I really got to talk about this because I have my own very different kind of story about it.
Okay.
But I'm really interested to find out about you and running.
Nice. Okay.
Did you think that was going to be it?
No, not at all. I thought you were gonna have something to do with me being a first-time father. I thought you were gonna ask me something about like that, because you were at the house and like Musa made a laugh or something, and then like we were there, and you were like, "Oh, aha, I got the question." And I was like, "Oh shit," 'cause he's not gonna tell me the question until the day. It's better when it's live because it's not. None of this is scripted. We literally just come off the top of the dome with this. Like, I don't know what he's thinking. He never knows what I'm thinking, but it's always synergetically cohesive every time. So go ahead and shoot your shot, brother.
No, I'm.
'Cause I'll do my question in a second.
Well, I've already kind of started. So I don't know when it was something about when I was over at your house. You said, "Oh, I'm going to go running," and I said something. What do you run? Have you run? And then you got very, very briefly said something about you were a serious runner.
Yes.
In
Yes.
high school.
Yes.
I mean, really competitive.
100%.
So I'm kind of curious about how you started running and your relationship to it. There was
Okay.
something with like Junior Olympics. So
Okay.
you go.
Roger that. All right. So first of all, I'll start off by saying you see me with these Dibs shirts. It's my little brother's company. He's not my little brother. We're the same age, but Dibs. Dreaming is believing before success. Again, dreaming is believing before success. It's an athletic apparel company.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And so pretty much you can check out his website, Dibs Life, at Dibs Life on Instagram. And he has a website too, www.dibs.com, I believe it is. I could be butchering that, but you can find him on Instagram. You'll find the website link. And what he entailed and envisioned with his company was having a brand that formed around people's belief in being able to achieve anything, whether it be financial or athletic or spiritual. Okay, but it's more geared towards the athletic side because the material is really like flexible, it's breathable, it's stretchable, and we were in the military together too as well, and we always wore a lot of different clothing that was not, so good to the skin, if you would per se. So Dibs is a good brand to wear when you are doing athletics. So for me, let's go back to me, and when I did run for in high school and I first got into athletics, it was my freshman year of high school. The reason I brought up my brother because in freshman year he also tried up for the cross country team at the time, but he got medically told that it wasn't a good idea because he had like a heart murmur or something like that, and they told him that running long distances wouldn't be in his future or whatever. So long story short, to fuel that all the way up until now, he runs easily 3 to 4 miles a day in 7-minute miles, really well. That has not stopped him. That didn't hinder his progression at all. So that is one of those things why it's the compass in dreaming is believing before success, because somebody can tell you can't do something and you can show them otherwise with the right type of determination. So back to me. That was a lot. Was it a lot?
Yeah, that was.
All right, brother.
That was a commercial. So obviously I'm gonna have to interview you about running because you're getting off on when did you realize that that you kind of enjoyed running or that you were good at running?
Okay, so that's a weird question because I really never enjoyed it. I just knew I was good at it, and the fact that I was good at it is what made me compete and continue at it.
But did you
Freshman year,
had you been running in any regular fashion before your freshman year in high school?
Yeah, with like on the block, like racing people, challenging kids.
So you were good at it.
Oh, I was really fast.
Really
There was
good.
only one person that could consistently beat me in my childhood was Marcus Chapman, and I'm coming for you. When I come to Chicago and I see you, Marcus, we go race, and I'm gonna smoke you. I hope because
Okay.
he's really fast. Only kid that ever beat me in the.
Let's go to your freshman year.
Freshman year. So tried out for the cross country team, like I said, with my brother, and so we're warming up. You got to run like a 7-mile run to warm up, and then you come back, and then you're doing like these tryout type of things, and they're trying to figure out who are the sprinters, who are the mid-distance runners, and who are the long-distance runners. Now, I was able to keep up with everybody. I was able to keep up with the sprinters. I was able to keep up with the mid-distance runners, and I was able to keep up with the long-distance runners. And I had no experience, so they made me pick a lane. I decided to go with the mid-distance. So mid-distance is anywhere from the 400 meters, which is one time around the track, to the 800 meters, which is 2 times around the track, to the 1 mile, or up to 2 mile if you need to. And so my first attempt at it, I realized that like, okay, I'm running against guys that are, you know, junior varsity, that are varsity, and I'm a freshman and I'm keeping up with them. And so at first I didn't think that I would be able to make it to varsity. I thought it was going to take me a few years or like a couple years to hone in my skills. So the first time that we raced, I went to the freshman race, and I think me and my friend Brendan, we did so well that race that after that they boosted us up to varsity right away. Like we literally were on freshman team for, I would say, one race, maybe two races at the most. And I was determined to make it to varsity because I knew that I could keep up with those guys. And when I did, everything else came easy. It was just a natural. I think my body type,
You definitely have a running body,
Right.
kind of, it's kind of long and lean,
Yeah.
kind of. So I could see an excellent stride.
Yeah, definitely.
Right?
Yeah, the stride is definitely what carried me through because in the stride, if I just keep my stride, throw my run, I can stay a consistent pace. And my strategy was to always stay behind the first three people who were in front and just keep that stride. And then I knew that my burst of speed, being able to sprint, would come in handy at the end of the race. It kind of pissed my coaches off because they knew that I always would hold back until the end. And they always wanted to see me just go break records and go crazy and just give it all that I got in a race, and I never would.
Well, yours was winning,
Winning.
not not the time. You
Yeah.
weren't competing against yourself.
Nope. I just wanted to win the
You
race.
just wanted to win.
Yep.
Yeah, you wanted to beat the guy in front of you.
Yep.
Okay, so now we go to like, competitively. Obviously, you compete with other schools.
Mhm.
Did the competition extend beyond high school to high school running?
It did. I got a bunch of scholarships to go to different colleges.
You did?
Yeah. But I was young and I was dumb and I was full of cum. You heard what I'm talking about? So I got to a point in, I think, my senior year when it was time to make the transition into college and do the college running. And I was like, man, because I struggled academically through high school.
Okay.
Not because I wasn't smart, because I didn't do work. I didn't bring a book back to school. Like I told you last time, my book bag was full of things to sell, not necessarily work, like academic works and stuff.
Things.
Yeah, and so I came over and was like, man, why am I gonna continue to run in circles? What am I doing with my life? And do I really want to go to college and do another 4 years, and then after that go to the Olympics and do another every 4 years? And it's just, I got in my own head and I stopped myself from continuing on. I denied all the scholarship, didn't go to college on the scholarship. I just picked a random college to go to for academics, and then failed out. And I did. Wait, did I? No, I didn't take the scholarship, and ended up joining the military right after that. So I gave up.
But now in the service, you didn't run or anything?
Oh yeah, that's
Jesus Christ!
But I didn't run competitively.
But you run. But you're a runner.
Yeah, I was a runner.
And because I have, when we get to my thing, I tell you, when you're a runner, you run.
You run, yeah. I definitely got some medals and some achievement awards for fastest times in my squadron, fastest times
in the military.
Basic training.
All right.
Yeah. But it was because it was easy. It was like I was a trained athlete at that point. I was going up against people who like were shoved out the house to go to the military. And go get a job or go join the military.
Yeah. So
they had no chance going up against a junior Olympic national competitor. You know what I mean?
Well, that's what I was asking you. So there was a junior Olympic thing.
Yeah.
What was that? I mean,
so I won state. Okay, let's start small. One city pretty much all 4 years in my division. So the 400 meter, the 800 meter, the mile, the 4x8, the 4x4. We pretty much won city every year. Pretty much won state every year. And we were always invited to the national championships and then therefore the Junior Olympics. The Junior Olympics is one of those things where it's everybody that's not old enough to go to the Olympics, but they are like right there under the Olympic speeds and Olympic times. And those are the guys in high school that compete against all the people around the world, nationwide. And the Junior Olympic Games were held in Texas, I believe, every year. They might have changed it, but I remember Texas vividly, at least 2 years in a row. And there's where I met my matches. Like that's where I was like, holy shit, there's people out here that are like, they do this, all they do. Like,
I'm just not gonna. I can't just run behind them
No,
and then beat them before the finish line.
No. And that's why I can understand now my coaches. That's why they're coaches. They knew.
Right, to improve your speed.
Right. And so even in my fastest, like going as hard as I could, burning muscles that didn't even exist, I made it. I think I came in third one year, and I came in second one year, and that was it. I never won the national championship, but one state almost every year, one city, and so definitely placed. Definitely.
Oh wow.
You good?
No, we were like, we may not even have a second question.
No, we're gonna have a second question.
No, because I got to do my story.
It could go long.
Yeah, that's right. But not too long. Are you done?
Done.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
No, it's all right.
I got a lot of here. I got a lot of memories.
That's fine. I was not an athlete.
Okay.
At all, and when you were young, that was a big thing for kids. It was like then socially,
Right.
very difficult to have a social life and a lot of friends if you really were always chosen last. So I always got chosen for like right field,
Okay.
or if it was really a catcher.
Okay.
This is like softball shit. So I was not a good athlete.
Okay.
And where I grew up was handball, and there was basketball stuff. I sucked, totally. I was not an athlete, but I got away with it.
Okay.
Because I was what would you call it? It doesn't matter. Anyhow, did nothing. And in my early 30s, I was in an unhappy marriage, living on Long Island,
Long Island.
Long Island, in a house I couldn't afford with 2 kids, and marriage was kind of coming apart. This is my early 30s, which would have been kind of mid 70s.
You sure?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, I can do that. So, and my brother, a couple of years older than me, had actually started running. Now back then, in kind of the mid 70s and stuff, running became the fad that it still is. So it was like you didn't have to. It wasn't like a high school thing. You didn't have to. People just started running. They had the gear, the Nike, all of that stuff. It became a whole subculture of people who ran marathons, all that stuff.
He's the creator of the marathon, guys. Give it up to Larry.
I ran. But wait. So I started running then, and I ran. When I started, I stayed with it. I ran every day except Sunday.
Do you remember your times?
No, I can tell you my I ran them. Again. So I just was a committed runner. I ran in the snow. It didn't matter. I ran every freaking day. Maybe 4 miles or so, half hour plus. That was it. And in 1982, I was working in some ad agency, and a friend of mine said, my buddy qualified he runs in the Boston Marathon, and he qualified for the New York City Marathon.
Okay.
But he hurt his ankle. Do you want to run? Now, you would appreciate it as a runner. If somebody doesn't run, wouldn't realize how insane what I did is.
Right.
So I was just doing like 4 miles and stuff, and it's like, and a week before the marathon.
Then you jumped to 27 miles.
Okay, and so I said, yeah, I'll do it. And the day before the marathon, I did everything wrong. So the day before the marathon, I was running in Central Park in New York, and there was a long loop that you do, and it's like around 13 miles.
Okay.
So I ran 13 miles.
Wow.
Which is probably not the smartest thing to do, considering I didn't do distance. And then I did the New York City Marathon in 1982, and my time, which you again would appreciate, although I did it in like 3 hours and 42 minutes.
Wow.
Which is around maybe like an 8.5 minute mile. I never walked, and
You never walked?
No, I didn't walk for the whole. I ran the whole thing.
That's crazy, guys.
And at the very end, when you came into Central Park, and I saw the finish line. I mean, I couldn't believe I did it. I started to cry.
Oh.
You get really, I mean, when you run a marathon, you basically drained out every reservoir that you got in your body.
Yeah.
And I realized that if I cried, I couldn't run because my legs started to turn to rubber when I was crying.
Okay.
So I had to hold in the cry, and I made it through the finish line. Anyway, that was 1982, and we fast forward to 2000, let's say 2019. I can't do the math. I kept running. So notes I ran. So I started running in my early 30s, and I basically finally quit running kind of in my early 70s. I ran for over 40 years.
Wow.
All right, virtually every day, but that same kind of distance, roughly about a half hour.
You should do the math on that. If he ran for 40 years at a distance, say 3 to 6 miles,
I could run to Mars. That's
about to Mars and back. That's about to Mars and back. Holy fuck.
Anyway, but it was a very different relationship, than yours.
Okay.
But I really appreciate running. I learned to really appreciate athleticism and what it takes, and how dedicated the people who are the best. I don't care if it's basketball,
it's a job.
Football,
it's a job.
Those tennis, to be to function at that level physically requires obviously God-given gifts,
Yes.
but a kind of dedication that is
Determination,
unbelievable.
100%.
That has people like LeBron, hours before the game, still after all he's in practicing his shot. So anyway, that's
well. I mean, you're right. We might not even get to the second question. Let's just keep on this topic because it's so vast, and I got some more to say on it. And I'll just save my question until next time. Next time, same station, same.
Oh well, let's we can just kind of talk a little bit more because this thing was set for 25. We got about 7 minutes. We got about 7 minutes to get to a half hour.
Okay. Yeah. I'm not even gonna bring my question in because my question will bring a lot more depth because it's a stinger, and you'll hear my question next week. It's a cliffhanger for that. So back to my I guess what would it be called if I hear your question and then come back with it and with my own answer, whatever this thing is called. Leave a comment on what that's called. Not a reverb or not a rebuttal.
Oh, it doesn't. It's just your reaction to my sharing my story.
So running as well is one of those things where doing it fucking sucked. The training fucking sucked. There was times in which I thought I literally was gonna die. Like I would come back from get this routine. All you coaches out there that's watching this, if you give this type of routine, I'm just gonna give you a little small one of the small training routines that we got from our coach. And our coaches were Olympic winning coaches. They both were Olympic competitors in their own day, and they trained Olympic athletes. I ran with some that they took to the Olympics 100%. So we would do like a 7-mile run warm up, and then if you understand what a 400-meter race is, that's one lap around the track. That's 400 meters. So we would do these training regimens that would run a 7 miles. Most people run 7 miles and they're done. Like they can't even fathom anything going any farther. But that was for us to get warmed up. Then we would get to the track, we would stretch after that 7-mile run, and then we would do these things called suicides, but it's something. Suicides in basketball is run to the free throw line, come back, run to the half court line, come back, run to the opposing free throw line, come back, run to the.
It extended. You ran all out, and then the repetition each time you ran further.
And then we had to do something like that. But what he and she, we had a male coach and a female coach, was that he would make us get to the track after the stretching of the 7-mile run, sprint a 400, then jog a 400, sprint a 400, 16 times. If you do the math on that, 4 times around is 1 mile. 4 times around an Olympic-sized track is 1 mile. 8 times around is 2 miles. 16 times around there is 4 miles. So if you add that 4 miles to the 7 mile run up, that's a 10 mile
No,
practice.
11.
Oh yeah,
That's
7,
why. Yeah, that's why you.
7,
Yeah.
4, 11. Yeah. Hey, I told you I didn't do well academically, but
Yeah,
I know my numbers, and he's right. 7-11 all day. 4 plus 7. No, but 11 miles, and the first 7 miles of that was literally just a warm up, just to get your blood flowing, get you tired, and the feeling you have with running those 16 400 meter laps. You literally look at God and say, how can I keep going? Body shaking, ass is burning, lower back feels like it's going to fall off. But it prepares you and it conditions you to get to those points in life where you don't think you have enough in the tank, and you're like, it's nothing even like this pain that I felt at this one point, and I made it. So of course I can make it now.
The fast and the slow that you were doing became I don't know how long ago, interval training.
Okay.
That which is that. In other words, you burn it,
Mm-hmm.
then you slow it,
Okay.
and you burn it, and you slow it. What was your? Because I think, and you would know, I think the 400 meter, not the 800. I think the 400 meter is the distance that the best runner can go all out.
Yes, they call it the man sprint. The reason they call it that is because it's the only sprint. That's the longest sprint that you have where you give it your all.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
whole
Yeah.
time.
There's no pacing.
There's
You
no
just
pacing.
burn.
You go as hard as you can.
Yeah,
as fast
400.
as you-
Okay, which timing for those 400? I mean, I suppose the 100-yard dash, I would have some idea. You know, the 9s, the 10s.
It's about 47. It's like I think.
What was your mile?
So my best
Roughly,
time.
yeah, what was your best mile?
My best mile was around 5 minutes, maybe a little less than 5 minutes, like 4:50 something. My best 800, which is 2 times around, was sub 2. I was about 155, 156, and my best 400 meter was right around 54, 55, something like that. And this is high school, so you're talking like under a minute in 1 lap, under 2 minutes in 2 laps, and under 5 minutes in 4 laps.
And that's because again, I can appreciate the mile because I'm just somewhat familiar with it. That's really without training for speed,
Right.
which means as you matured, had you stayed at it,
Mhm.
you could have gotten to 4-ish.
Oh yeah, with ease.
Right? Don't say we.
With ease, yeah.
Well, considering the record is maybe like what 392.
Yeah, well, 350 something, right?
Oh, how did it be
something.
390?
Right.
Fucking idiot. Yeah, but it's under 4
It's
because
under
obviously the 4,
Yeah.
but it's not like tremendously less because you can't.
And these guys literally work years to take off 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds.
When you're that,
when you're that fast.
I wanted to comment on one. The thing about the level of exhaustion,
Mm.
which is what, to me, again, even as the kind of runner that I was, if I wasn't first of all, at the end of every run, I was really tired.
Yes.
No, but to me, I don't. You ain't running. I don't care who you are. It doesn't matter what your time is. If you're not exhausted, if you're not thinking as you're getting toward the end of the mile, even like my thing in my daily, no matter what. And by the way, I ran all over the world because I traveled. I ran in Guatemala. I ran in Israel. I ran in Costa
Wow.
Rica.
That's my bucket list check off.
If you're not really tired at the end of your run, if you're not thinking that, oh man, I don't know if I'm
might
gonna
not make
finish.
it, yeah.
That's, to me, that's running. That isn't jogging. So even as slow as I may have been, I was not jogging. I burned it.
Right.
And that's why, again, when you mentioned just casually, I'm gonna go out for a run. I said, oh, do you run? And then came the whole story.
Yeah.
I thought, oh man, that'd be really cool to talk about because I like a lot of things that are between us,
synergy,
as different as the stories may be, there's a commonality. So running, or we talked about the first job you had.
Yeah.
You share, or we all share
Similarities.
so much, and even if it's like, man, I was an incredible athlete, and then the other person says, God, I just was really shitty, and I always felt bad about it.
But you
You
worked
still
hard
have
to-
that it's,
Cohesion.
It's still a commonality. So.
So could you imagine then? That's why my coach would be mad at me, because at the end of the race, I'm over there, like tired, but not like exhausted to the point of the rest of the guys and the rest of the gals. Is that look at everybody else? They're throwing up. They're freaking like laying on the ground. I'm over here. Can I get a Gatorade? Just having a good Gatorade. Like, yes, I won.
You know,
knowing that I had that much more in the tank.
When you're given a gift, and it doesn't matter. It could be running, it could be writing, it could be anything. On some level, it's like you're not obligated to embrace the gift.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling in your case, you were really you were gifted with that ability, and did what you felt like doing with it.
Right.
But you could have, in a different setting, could have gone to an incredible school,
100%.
right?
Easily.
Or you could have gotten to a point where you could have conceivably competed in the Olympics.
Yep.
And you could have been on a Wheaties cereal box.
You're right. Actually, for the thumbnail of this, I think I'm gonna go home and wear all my medals, take a little screenshot, and then that way when people click on this video, they'll see all my medals to know that this podcast, or not podcast, this YouTube video was about the love of running and how we both shared from two totally different perspectives, which is about.
I almost was going to bring it, but I didn't, because it would be cheating. Because then it would be like, it would be like, whatever. It would be like you asking me about running, not knowing my reaction is going to be, and you came in wearing all your medals.
Okay.
I have a photograph. I don't have a lot of photographs that I hold dear, but I have a photograph of me crossing the finish line at the New York Marathon.
Okay.
Because
Send it over. I'll put that on the thumbnail too. Side by side.
Okay.
Both
Oh,
of us.
all right.
Yeah.
Like everything, especially in New York, everything's a freaking business. So what they did, and this was back in in the early '80s, it was automatic. When you crossed the finish line, your photograph was taken.
Okay.
Then they would contact you, and they would sell you the photograph.
Oh wow. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I will. I'll send it over, and then we
send
can
it over.
have the. Anyhow, I'm. Oh, how wonderful! This was a good one. I like
yeah.
this one.
No, yeah, I do too.
And I don't know. You think we're done?
I mean,
We can be
we
done.
can do what we want. We
I
are
know.
we are the stars of the show.
We are the world.
We are the world. We are the children. We are the ones that make a better place. So let's start giving. Is it gilling or healing? Whatever. All right, but man, yeah. Hey, we didn't do the thing in the beginning and say, make sure you like this, subscribe, and share it with as many friends as you like, as you have. But if you stay with us this long, please do that. I appreciate you guys for that. Do you have any closing words with us, Mr. Feinstein?
No. Other than I knew I was going to ask you about running. I didn't, but I thought, oh, we have a kind of a conversation about it. But I didn't. I really didn't realize, and I'm pleasantly surprised that it would end up being such an animated conversation that that we had.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking, I'll do that, and then we'll do the second question. But it's like, no, I'm fine.
Athletics took up a big chunk of my life, so it's a big block in there, and I'm just now getting back into it, and I'm already getting my groove back. Like, years of not running to just going back at it. I thought it was going to take me a while to build up, but I could do 6 miles with a smile.
6 months was.
6 miles with a smile.
Well, your body has, certainly your body has memory of all kinds. I mean, you hold emotional memories in your body, and certainly physical memories. And for me, in the closeout is which eventually you will get to, where you really have to adjust your physical regimen, because your body
Deteriorates.
It starts calling like, all right, time out.
Right.
So
right.
I'm running all the time, running. And I had an injured leg for a whole other story. I'm not doing now.
We're gonna
But-
bring. That's a good
but-
question.
That's a really good one. It's a great story. But I had a compromised leg, but it didn't matter. I kept running on it for like 12, 13 years. And at some point I pulled an Achilles and the whole leg kind of gave out.
Wow.
And it was okay. It hurt a little bit, but it's like, okay, I gotta give up the running. So that's 2 some odd years ago. But I got a stationary bike. So at the same routine as my running, every day I get on the stationary bike and I pedal my ass off to nowhere.
Right. But that's for another show.
That's
We're
for another
we're
show. Yeah, we're done.
Leave
We gotta be
you
done.
cliffhanging. That is us, Foster and Feinstein. Hopefully you enjoyed learning a little bit more about us. If you have any closing statements, you can go follow me on Instagram, Foster Lee IG. You can find my podcast, Focus Energy, and my music, Foster Lee, on all streaming platforms. If he wants to leave a plug, he can. Sometimes he just gets shy about his plugs.
No, my blog is mindinthemotorcycle.com,
Okay.
and my podcast that I record with Foster is also Mind in the Motorcycle, and it's on all of the platforms. I'm done.
Sure.
We're
All
done.
right. Hey man, appreciate y'all guys for sticking in with us and staying to the end. Until next time, we'll see y'all next week.
Yeah.
Foster Lee and Feinstein.
And
Over and out.
Thank you. Thanks very much. Okay.
That was a good one. I like that one.
I liked it. I'm very happy with it.
I hope you guys liked it too.